If the CSA would have won, we wouldn't have the book Guns of the South. Welcome back to your weekly alternate history. Before I begin, I just want to let you know that I'm going to be making some changes to this series, so you will see what the changes are soon, but for now, the format will remain the same. The Confederate States simply would have been considered a third world country as slavery was a big part of the country. With industrialization on the rise, people there would have to change their lifestyle as much as PewDiePie wanted his diamond play button, or the Confederates would have died out. The CSA would have conquered the USA. The Confederacy would have not been in a shit ton of wars, but still weak and unstable. The Mexicans retake their land, leaving them even more devastated. Russia never sold Alaska and later found the riches of the region. The World War I would have been won by the CP because of the CSA never sending reinforcements. World War II now happening, and yeah, likely communism wouldn't exist as Russia wouldn't completely fall. Today, no NATO, and the CSA is now very important, less influential than Mexico and Canada. I'm Constantine friend account, just renamed. Oh wait, why did I read that? One of the many factors that led to the American Civil War was that the South was relying on the slave work, and if the Confederacy would have won it, it would have an slave-based economy and ideology. UCSA, United Confederate States of America, will still fight in the world wars, and it will influence with the ideology Europe and the rest of the world. The core war wouldn't just be Confederate versus communist, but also free black people versus the ones that didn't want free black people. The human rights will be different as it won't have to be the same for everyone. The world will be a darker place. That went dark. Oh my god. Remember, it was this person that wrote it, not me. The American Civil War would end when the Confederate Army surrounds Washington, D.C. Both the U.S. and the CS signed an armistice, but it's considered that the CS won the Civil War. But after the war, the CS will still have slavery, while the U.S. won't. The CS will try to expand to the West as well as the U.S., but the CS will go to war against Mexico when the CS tries to expand there. Around that time, the CS economy is failing, the war leads to a stalemate, but the CS gain some of the northeastern part of Mexico. Later in World War I, Germany would ask CS that if the US entered the war, they would attack them. At this time, the US would not intercept the message, until rumors start to fly by that the CS prepared to side with the Central Powers. This causes concern in the US government and mass panics in the public. Investigations are put to solve if the rumors are true. After tensions rise between the two, the US starts the invasion of CS through Texas. World War I will last longer. It's impossible that the Confederates had won the war due to the low population and the quality of the weapons, but it will most likely be a ceasefire like the one in Korea. Time rolls on, and they conquer portions of South America as colonies. When the slaves start a civil war in between the years of 1950 and 1960, the Confederacy falls, but the slaves only keep Florida as the U.S. went to war with them immediately after the Civil War, and the Confederates were neutral during World War I and II. Not good results. USA will be more richer in cotton, but weakened by slavery, new states, and others. Also, Confederate may be neutral, so they won't fight World War I and World War II. Cold War will not happen unless everyone will live in slavery. Mount Rushmore wouldn't exist too. And a comment stating that the Confederate victory was virtually impossible. I'm not going to read it, but I'm going to let you guys read it if you want to see why it's virtually impossible according to 99 Back right here, but I'm going to move on. And finally, Trump wouldn't exist. Oh. Wait, there's another comment. He wouldn't, but if he did, his statements would be considered less extreme and racist. Oh. And there's no reply in it below that. Oh. Why did I pick this again? Okay. And thank you for watching this week's Weekly Alternate History. There were a lot of good comments out there, but a lot of them were basically the same thing. Like, I've read a lot of them. Like, a lot of them were really repeated ideas. And I'm really sorry if I didn't pick your comment, because, yeah, some of them were a bit too long, and I didn't want to make this video that long, because I still have other series to work on. So, all I'm asking is if you're going to make a Weekly Alternate History, try to maintain the length, please. Like, I know some of you have mentioned that, oh my god, this comment is too long. So there's a reason why I didn't read 99 Batman's comment, because it's really long, but I feel like it brings up some good points. However, all I ask is that you maintain the length of your comment and just try to be as brief as you can. And yeah, I know I mentioned this back in the introduction, but I think it's really becoming a problem here because I read them, but then it's too long and people get annoyed, and it just hurts the series a bit, even though the series isn't very successful. But hope you guys enjoy it. So for next week's video, here is suggestion left by Scout107. What if Julius Caesar wasn't assassinated? You can leave your weekly alternate history in the comments below. And if you don't want to miss out on next week's weekly alternate history, be sure to subscribe, or you can keep up with my updates on my Facebook and Twitter so that you know when the episode is going to be uploaded on Saturday.